that failed. Hello. Um, so all day, I wanted to say this while I still haven't eaten. I feel like the prana is just running in and I'm very clear. I feel like look Master of Earth up on YouTube. He definitely inspired me for a lot of this, but the fact that like who am I? Who are we? Who are you? Um, and what is it to be an individual? And I think when you tap into the life force energy behind everything, the thing that makes you alive, the thing that animates the body, that is you. You are not your body, you are not your mind, you are the blueprint behind it, extending and projecting it into form. And everybody is that, but it somehow navigates into all of these infinite fractals of individualized potential and meaning. And it's easy to get caught up and dissolve into the nothingness. And maybe ego in its purest sense is consciousness. Like the ego of the universe, of God, is just consciousness. Um, oh no, you can't hear. I'm so sorry. I'm doing it on my phone instead of my iPad. And my phone could talk a little closer to the thing, but then you're so fucking close to my face. I have to put on sunglasses then. Fine. So, anyway, yeah. Separating from the ego is... It can be scary. I mean, it feels like you kind of dissolve into... You are owning your philosophy lesson. Yeah. I mean, I'm formulating it today. But, yeah, because it's like I still have to be myself. Like, it's easy to just dissolve in Buddhist perfection consciousness, but then you don't move. Like, I feel like the ego is also energy in motion. I mean, it steps off of emotion. First comes foundation, then emotion, then expression of those two things as long as they're sound. And, yeah, it's like... energy guided outward, yeah, like the sun, like the solar, it's just our personalities, our individual vibrations and frequencies, thank you, that's awesome, our creativity and our artistry, and being yourself is probably one of the most happiness inducing, joy inducing things that you can do. And I think that we've been so programmed into thinking that who we are, you're pretty much a genius. I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head. This isn't me talking right now, or at least I'm not trying to involve myself too much. But I think society has programmed us to see us as something outside of ourselves. Like, you are what you eat, what you wear, what you look like. You are all of these things, and it completely drains you of anything that you actually are, and it gives it to them. And the thing is, positivity is really the only way to counteract all of the negativity. And there doesn't need to be violence. There doesn't need to be, these systems need to be broken down. Awesome. These systems need to be broken down, but peacefully. If you just if you put your attention elsewhere, it'll just go away. Like, you don't have to worry about it. I feel like I've spent, personally, most of my life worrying about the well-being of this planet and getting so depressed and caught up in how we're never going to fix any of this. Like, there's too many things to fix. I just give up. Like, I might as well just die. Like, there's nothing I can do. But it's like, it's all fine already. Like, it's... Me too. Yeah, like, I feel like we all really care, and we're all really feeling what's going on right now. Like, everything's in Cancer. It's time to feel. Me too. And if we just focus our attention on the positive aspects of life, that will start to create. And the other things that are already in place will just go away naturally. Like, we don't have to, like, you know, the government, all these people in power that are doing absolutely nothing. The solution isn't to hire another corrupt politician. It's to create our own government and to create our own society. And, like, just buy some acres of land, make a farm, feed ourselves. Like, yeah, I struggle with how to focus on the positive without sounding too redundant. Yeah, it can be really hard to stay on a positive path. There are so many things that dislodge us from being positive, and the important thing is to center back into that no matter what happens, because it feels good. I mean, maybe that's redundant too, but it's like I could be upset and I could not be upset, and it's ultimately my choice. And I think that upon realizing that, I decided to choose to be happy. The world gets overwhelming. Centering, yes, centering. Finding some kind of space where you can really, truly, authentically be okay. Like knowing that everything's fine. Like finding a safe space within yourself and choosing to be there no matter what's happening. Because honestly, nothing can offset you and nothing can unbalance you unless you allow it to. And it's difficult. Everyone's 7 p.m. It's different. It's what time is it? It's like what? It's 2 p.m. where I'm at right now. 7 p.m. balances me. Yeah, me too. It's really beautiful to have all of these people together. Like, it's great. Thank you for the hearts. But yeah, so the ego. So I am not anything. We're all the same thing. And I was watching Christina Martin's Lilith video, and she talked a little about ego too, of like, but that's not why we're here. Like, we're here to enjoy that aspect of ourselves. And I think that, yeah, happiness and joy that comes from that place, and it comes from interacting with other aspects of ourselves and other perspectives and learning and collaborating and growing infinitely, because infinite growth and change is the Tao, and it is all that there is. And the fact that we are consciously aware of it is one of the most beautiful and fascinating things that I'm not sure we can ever understand necessarily as we are it, but trying to understand. Holy moly, you're awesome. Aw, thank you. Trying to understand who we are is one of the parts of being human, of having this experience of constantly questioning and refiguring and rewiring and replacing. Like, all of these molecules, all of this physical reality is malleable. Growth and change is much needed in my life. Then I pray that that happens for you. It will happen. I think growth and change is inevitable. I think energetic blockages happen when you resist your own self. When you resist, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am going to go out here and do the things that I need to do to make my life accomplishable. When you block that from happening, then it hurts, but eventually it'll bust through. People would never live happily on a farm, though, anyways, needs to turn back to money. I don't agree with that. I think money is just an energetic exchange medium, but it's not necessary. People existed without it. Like, people would be like, hey, here's this apple, can you give me a massage? And, you know, it kind of works like that. Someone that makes clothes down the street could make you some clothes for the week, and in exchange, you know, you're like, hey, let me, like, build you a house. I don't know, like, people did things for each other based off of their own personal skill sets. And the problem is that the government and society have put a monetary value that they deem appropriate on skill sets that they deem appropriate. Who makes the most money? Like lawyers and businessmen, companies, food companies that are just completely toxic and draining the entire... That's a whole nother subject. But I think that it's perfectly fine. You don't need anything. We were born fully linked. But in history, it always eventually turns that way, unfortunately, financially. Yeah, historically, this is where we're at right now. This is where we've evolved. And I think that it was necessary to make some kind of equality of exchange between all the different countries and all the different tribes and people and ways of being that exist. There needed to be some kind of universal energy exchange. Though money is not exactly hitting that point, I think that's what we were trying to get across, to make trade easier, and we were expanding as a human species very quickly and very rapidly. I mean, something needed to happen. I agree with that. But we're still moving forward. This isn't a stopping point, and I think now that we've hit this point, we can turn money into something else, perhaps, or create a different kind of currency. People are already learning to just barter with each other, like, hey, I've got some weed, you want to record me for some studio time? Like, anything. People are just getting by and starting to not use the systems that are in place, and they're functioning and thriving. And it's just a matter of pushing forward, really. Like, the doors are all open right now. LOL, that's true, thanks. No problem. The doors are open, the portals are open, the energy is there, the keys are inside of you. Um, it's all really, it's right here. It is pressing up on the earth. I'd much rather exchange services because I can never seem to manifest money. Yeah, I mean, try to. Money manifestation is difficult. It is a compromise. It's a compromise with the society that we live in today. And, I mean, it is what it is. We need shelter and food. Well, we don't really need food, and the earth is our shelter. But we need to relearn how to exist independently. Like, I would love to just exist solely off of prana. It's very difficult in the city, and I tend to swing back and forth, and it's also like a sacral thing and an emotional thing. But oh man, I got really excited about all of this, but now I need to go. Yeah, that signals it too, I guess. Oh, love you guys. Thank you for being here. I can't end it. Thank you.